We continue our knowledge sharing mission through a series of interviews with marketing leaders from all around the world. And today we're thrilled to have Dorota here with us. Dorota, please could you just give a short introduction to yourself, maybe your name, your role, and your company?
Thanks, Neil, and thank you so much for having me. I'm head of marketing ANZ at Tech Data, and I lead the marketing function here in ANZ, and that's across brand, digital marketing, channel marketing, as well as the newly created function of call center.
And those that don't know Tech Data, could you give a quick sort of snapshot overview of the company?
Of course. So we are a global IT distributor. So we distribute IT technologies to IT partners, and we work with vendors such as Microsoft, AWS, Checkpoint, F5, to name a few, but we have around 40 vendors that we distribute here in ANZ.
Just to go a bit deeper into your role, could you just give us a bit of understanding of what the main focus of your marketing role is at the moment?
For me, it's about connecting the business with our vendors and our partners. So it's about creating that forum, create good conversations and connection within our ecosystem. And that's through marketing activities. It could be events, also digital marketing, and everything in between.
Just in terms of success, how are you defining success in marketing at Tech Data, or maybe sort of just in career-wise in general?
That's a very good question. I would start with saying that it needs to be measurable. So any success needs to be measurable. So sometimes in marketing, it's easy to drift away from that approach and focus on lots of different activities. But at the end of the day, you may not know what worked, what hasn't. So that's very important to be able to measure it. It's about setting KPIs at the beginning of the campaign and understanding clearly what those KPIs are, aligning with the team who is involved, that we are all on the same page, and ensuring that we reach those KPIs. So that's one thing. The second one is to be able to deliver value at every touch point of customer journey.
Talking about sort of being measurable and aligning on KPIs and maybe sort of coming into that sort of data point. Do you think as a sort of marketing leader, that's become easier with the amount of data coming in? Or is there sort of challenges in that sort of measurableness as well, and maybe the A/B testing and making sure that you're going down the right channels?
It's still a challenge in B2B particularly. The sales cycles are very long, and it's difficult to pinpoint, okay, where the actual conversation started. Did it start at the event, or maybe there was already some sort of conversation going before, and then whether conversion happened because of marketing activity, or maybe conversation with sales, or maybe conversation with technical person, or maybe somebody did they research online, so there are just so many touch points that actually pinpointing specifically, it's still a challenge. And although the tools dramatically improved and changed over the last decade, there is still room for improvement, and hopefully the next years will bring more growth in that area as well.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge that I hear a lot. There's so many touch points with B2B marketing and getting that attribution and making sure you're assigning the dollars in the right place is obviously that ongoing challenge as well. In terms of those sort of high engagement activities, where are you seeing the trend?
It's in events, so this is where people actually get together face to face, where they can learn a little bit more about technology they want to discover or explore a bit more, where they get a chance to talk to our vendors, to our team. So it's about, for marketing, it's about creating that platform for conversation that really then helps partners to get the value, helps vendors to get value. And in marketing, it's all about driving value.
It's safe to say that your alignment with sales is pretty deep, and you're making sure that before anything gets started, the goals are very clear.
Absolutely. And there are many companies who still work in silos, but here at Tech Data, we work closely within different business functions to ensure that we are all aligned and drive the activities that benefit our partners, our vendors, and tech data as organization as well. So although we have all those tools in the world now we can use in CRM, it's about being connected with salespeople, with people who deal with our customers day to day, and having conversation with them to understand who this content that we are creating or campaign that we are running is valuable for. Because that's where the value comes from and where the engagement comes from. If, let's say, you create campaign, you can have the best content you want, but if you don't send it to the right audience, or let's say you have an event but invite the people who are not relevant for this campaign, both the campaign will not be successful and people who attended will not find the value, and actually that can impact your brand in a negative way.
No, definitely. And I think everyone always says, you get less marketing budget, and results are so much more under the microscope because of the amount of data points coming back. So you can't waste any event spend, you can't do any of that, so you have to be aligned and go into the different functions. So no, I think that's great. Just to switch on maybe to more on sort of leadership and around that side of things, what career advice would you maybe give someone starting out in the marketing industry now?
There are actually a few things that people need to look out for if they would like to start their career in marketing. First of all, it starts within. So think about what you like to do and what your strengths are. So do you like to focus on brand, or maybe digital marketing? Maybe you want to do CRM specifically. Maybe you want to do events. There are just so many things in marketing. Or maybe, just like myself, you want to be generalist. It really depends on the personality, what you want to do. And when I arrived in Australia 8 years ago, I went for some job interviews, and I had a conversation with recruiter, and I told him that I was a generalist. And then he said, you will not succeed in marketing because you need to go deep into areas, because now there are just so many different areas in marketing. That was, his advice. And on the same day, I actually had another interview with a company for a generalist role, and I got the job. So the advice there is also to listen to yourself, what you feel is right for you, where you feel that your strengths are, because this is, at the end of the day, how you're going to succeed. So that's one thing, understand your strengths and what you want to do, and getting that clarity. If you don't get the clarity yourself, no one's going to give it to you. You need to really take the time to think about it. It may take for you 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, but if you keep thinking about it, you will arrive at conclusion. The second one is the industry. So would you like to work in IT, maybe finance, or maybe manufacturing, healthcare? There are just so many choices, and each of those industries is so different, and people working there are also a little bit different, and the pace is different. So doing your homework in that area as well. Another one, I would also recommend to think whether you want to work for a startup, corporation, mid-sized company, whether it's a new company or well-established companies, because all of those present different challenges and opportunities, as well as different environments. So, for example, in corporate environment, you will have lots of structure, whereas in startup, you will probably have no structure at all. And some people operate very well within structure. Some people operate very well without structure. And I always thought I operate better without structure. Now I'm working for a large corporation, which is 25,000 people globally. And I actually like it. I'll keep open mind and try different things and see what works for you best.
That's interesting. And yeah, I like how, because I always feel like you had that. I'm more of that unstructured. I like sort of smaller companies where I can get a bit more merging into maybe other functions.
You can have medium-sized businesses that maybe don't allow that cross-functional collaboration, or you may have big corporations like our corporation where you actually work across different departments, and it gives you that freedom and opportunities to do interesting things and projects. So we spoke about career advice for people who would like to get into marketing, but also people who would like to become people's managers. So maybe they worked in marketing for a while and they enjoyed it. They got really good at that individual level, so that they think that they would like now become people's managers. So my advice would be, first of all, think about why you would like to do it. Is it just you feel like it's a stepping stone to something else? Or you actually want to help people grow? Because I believe if you are people's manager, your mindset needs to shift, because it's no longer about you and what you contribute as individual contributor, because you can be still a great innovator and do great things, but as people manager, your main focus are people, as well as their growth, their strengths, and what you can achieve together as a team. So that would be one. Look at your people's strengths, what they actually enjoy doing, because if you do just that, then you will see some great outcomes coming out, because if people do what they love doing, they will provide better outcomes. And I would say enjoy the ride as well. It can have its challenges, but at the end of the day, if you love working with people, seeing them grow, it's definitely very worthwhile path.
Being able to sort of do a personal review of yourself, I think, is very important. And like you said, like look at your strengths and maybe where that will take you, and maybe through the company where it will take you as well. And I think, yeah, like selecting those leaders is very important. And I don't know, like maybe I don't know if has technology caught up with that side of the business. I don't know, but how do you find sort of within companies that's being sort of looked after? Do you think that's done well?
That self-reflection is critical, and I do that all the time. I keep thinking, how can I do better? What are some things I can improve? What am I doing well already? What can I build on? And giving people that space is also super important. And at Tech Data, we give that space to people. We have career reviews every 3 months for people to see where they would like to go, what they would like to do, how they would like to grow career within Tech Data, what skills they would like to build on. And that every 3 months review gives you actually opportunity to think about it, because sometimes in our jobs, we get into working on so many things that what I would like to do, how I would like to do it, it's not the priority. If we don't create space for ourselves as individuals, there will be no company or no manager that will do it for us. So all of us individually, we are in charge for our destiny and our career.
I want to dig deeper into that like specialist generalist side of things, because I always think you get mixed messages. Like someone is promoting this, and like a specialist, someone's promoting a generalist, and to be honest, I think it's often down to maybe the path that they took and where they saw success. But I think, like you mentioned, it's down to the individual and where your sort of passion lies. That is ultimately going to be the most successful route. But my question would be, obviously, to bring up the sort of elephant in the room of AI, like, does that swing the needle one way or the other, do you think? And maybe when we look in 10 years' time, like, would you say being a generalist is good with the support of AI? Or do you think, it still depends on where the focus for yourself will be?
No matter which path you select, whether it's specialization, let's say events, branding, digital marketing, or generalist, you still need to stay ahead of AI curve. You still need to understand it and do it well. Otherwise, you will be left behind. And younger generation coming to marketing, they have different mindset, and definitely they are going to excel at that, at AI.
Yeah, I was chatting to someone about that the other day, and actually how much there is to learn from like young generation coming in, because they're wired so much different to the generation, let's say, that's just finishing off their careers. And so the flow of information is changing sort of rapidly.
That could be another career advice to somebody who is starting in marketing, to really focus on what's ahead and technologies, because that, although you will have less experience as a new person in marketing, but you will have that competitive advantage that maybe people who've worked in marketing for 5 or 10 years don't have. But those skills are becoming more and more critical.
Just to jump on to more sort of leadership advice, what piece of leadership advice do you not think applies to the modern marketing leader?
I think it's stay in your lane conversation. So in the past, marketing would do just marketing, sales would do just sales, technical people would just technical, but now the lines are becoming more blurry. And as a marketing director, you actually need to work across different departments, understand the goals of different departments, what they do, what they want to achieve. You need to also be able to connect data and people. So working in silos is no longer working. So staying in your lane, not gonna get you too far. And I remember in the past, salespeople would be telling me, if I would be talking to them about sales, they would say, "Oh, why do you talk to me about sales? You are marketing, I'm sales. So, you do your thing, I do mine, and we are fine," but which I found at the time very interesting. As a marketing person, you actually need to understand different departments. You also need to understand your customer, technology, the pain points. So not just doing, marketing itself. And in the past, marketing would be more, pretty flyers, maybe a trade show. But now it's totally different game, and you really need to understand the data and collaborate with different departments to look at the insights and come up with the recommendations to continue improving what you're doing.
What's the future of marketing look like? And where do you think we've got great opportunities?
Future of marketing, it's marketing that is integrated, that is experience focused, that is AI driven. And we've seen over the last few years how things been changing in the marketing world, but I think there is so much more to come. Another thing would be that marketing will be seen less as a cost center function, but it will be seen more as growth function. The title, I believe, it deserves, and especially with the recent advancements in technology, having salesperson just give a call to a potential customer won't cut it anymore.
The customer is so much more advanced, and like making sure that experience is the best is very important. So I like that. Are there any things that you're not looking forward to?
I look forward to everything.
Good. Now, very hard question here. How would you describe the role of a CMO, head of marketing, in one word, and why?
It would be connector, because this is function that thrives on collaboration, insights to drive impact and business growth. So this role doesn't thrive in silos. It's where as CMO or marketing director need to work with other departments. You bridge the gap and build a bridge between organization, customer, and strategy.
Well, that's a lovely point to end on. I think, connector, and I think that word sort of comes up again, and I think it's becoming more and more important. And like I think I mentioned at the beginning, it goes across, marketing goes across way more functions than ever. It goes deeper into the customer journey. So I think that's a fantastic one word to finish on. But thank you very much for joining CMO Chats. It's been a pleasure to speak to you.
Thanks for watching CMO Chats by the Ortus Club. Catch my full interview on Spotify.